Whoop, 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 whoop. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up? What's up? I think we're going to get one as well. I think we take London highs today, assuming we don't absolutely crater. Daily objective done. We are inside of this. So we're actually waiting to see what goes on from here. I expect a bit of a reaction from this low. A bit of a reaction from this low. But we're inside of this major move, which then ended up taking the highs. We also have this major order block, which was the attempt to reverse from here. So there's a couple of key things that happened here from a price action standpoint. This very well could have failed to make a valid low on this violent movement down, which would have really sent us down immediately. Instead, we actually ended up running the high. So that becomes a very, very important area of price. Now, let's go shorted. Beautiful. Beautiful, right? Funnily enough, this 5-minute candle on NQ took both sides of the hourly. And then this one took both sides of this one. Give away 10 fast tracks. Do you guys prefer something else besides the DTFs? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Do we find the 50K is too hard? Is that what's going on? $600 a day is no joke, but if you can hit it, and you've got your strategy on point, whoo, baby. Good morning, very dads. Hopefully I'm not butchering your name. I apologize. You do have to make 9K for a payout. That's right. They are very, very advanced, for sure. Yeah. The fast tracks are nice if you're on a budget as well. I'm personally not a fan of 100K accounts at all. But that's mainly because I just think there's better options with how much you have to make versus how much risk you've got. Little bit of a bottoming coming in. Again, this would be kind of the area where I'd love to get some sort of a flip or some sort of inversion. Not looking to really get in front of this. You got a 15-minute that's now closed that strongly bearish. Or at least you have. What am I talking about? There's your 15 right there. We actually have continuation. Wake up, Kev. Wake up. Good morning, Frank. Is the 100K fast track trailing drawdown? I didn't know that. If I'm entirely honest, I haven't really looked a lot at trailing drawdown. When I go to past evaluations, usually I try and do that in a day or two. So very, very choosy with my setups, and then boom. And those are usually like 10, 20 point trades. Where are they? Fast track, trailing drawdown. Yeah, it is. How about that? How about that? You guys that are here early, by the way, we'll be doing a, here's your midpoint as well. We'll be doing a early, marble race for you guys, right? Before we ping everybody else in there. And that's just to appreciate you guys for actually tuning into the stream. Rather than pinging everybody and then all you guys that have been here since the start of the stream, well, no real sense being here early then, is it? So we'll just chill, have some coffee. We've got nothing other than strong selling. Just complete and utter unload. The 50K is yes. The 50K is yes. My goodness, mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Good opportunity to practice patience, lads. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wave the white flag. Where's my white flag? Just wave the white flag. Like, let's get this. Jesus. Very possibly. Very possibly. You know, you're 15, you're 5. Your 15 is, I mean, if you're looking at measured moves, and I think a lot of computers will look at measured moves from this, you're essentially looking at, there's your first 15-minute candle, and then your second 15 is actually right at the point there. And then you've got a 23 or 25% extension, which usually signals termination of the measured move. So if the 100 gets respected and we don't get our massive movement, this might be where they scale in and then the 25 goes that way. So if we actually look at that, I think this is actually a very actionable trade idea. So if we go, yeah, there we go. Right, so 1.25 right there at 185. I think that's viable. But again, not trying to step in front of this until I know something. All right, anywhere from really 245 to 185, I'm looking to determine if it's going to have a reversal. Other than that, not looking to step in front of this too quick. Ooh. Yeah, no kidding. Anybody who shorted earlier and just held for any actionable reason to get out, you're looking already at a 150 point move so far. New 5-minute candle opening. Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I get really, really interested. Now, I mean, if I had $1 million account, yeah, I'd probably take a stab in here, and then if I'm wrong, like, say, 20 or 30 points on micros. Right? We're inside of the pocket of in an area that I'm really, really, really interested in from this. Right? And you're kind of looking to determine if we're going to get a sort of a bounce out of here, then we're probably going to violently lift. And if we're wrong, then you're wrong, but this is an area where people will be looking to buy, for sure. 185s, for sure. Now, I'm not trading with $1 million account. You get your first valid low, which doesn't necessarily mean this is going to rocket up because this is a higher time frame movement. We don't really care about 1 minute valid lows in a higher time frame movement. You're looking at the 5-minute time frame. And essentially, that's how I kind of want you guys to approach pretty much everything skill set wise anyways, where the 1 minute is just facilitating what the higher time frame wants to do. That's all we use it for. So you might get low risk flips, and then are we waiting for a short given this, or are we waiting for a long? Well, that depends on whereabouts our area of interest was. You've got some massive accumulation that's occurred, but again, like that to me was potentially yesterday and we failed. So we see again. Now, now we've run everybody out. Maybe. You got a new hourly opening in about 2.5 minutes. Yeah, so this kind of comes in. So what I do with higher time frame analysis, if we make this, so I think that we're looking at maybe a little bit of a reversal coming in now. So what I would do with higher time frames is I'm essentially looking at what we expect to happen on the 15 and what does actually happen. And that gives me a lot of actionable advice. For example, if we're looking at this and you've got this major area of interest that snaps this low, we would expect, if that's going to be manipulation, that this trades back in and then we make a decision. And if this decision does this, then we continue higher. And if it does this, then we continue lower. And that was the case yesterday. If we look at yesterday's price action, I'm getting to your question, I promise. And we had the morning PA here. You had this movement up. If this area breaks this high, then we trade back in and we go higher. If this area fails, then we look at a massive unwind for the rest of the day. And it's gone. And yet that was the case yesterday. And it all hinges on this. And what that is we're looking at, you guys are looking at areas that are responsible for major decisions. So when that happens and you get that 15-minute that does the same sort of idea, right, where we expect X and Y happens, now we know that this isn't how we typically would have structure where you break, you trade back up, you break, you trade back in. Instead, we have something like this. And that's a higher time frame movement. Now you're looking at targets down here that are of a very high time frame. And by very high, I'm not meaning the 4-hour chart. I'm looking at the daily. I'm looking at the weekly. Because we're now charging towards those. Charging towards those. Can't see the chat through your head. Sorry. Can you guys see the charts? Or did you guys miss most of that? So when I look at how violent this was, and yesterday as well, now I'm looking at, okay, we've got this beautiful area on the daily, right? And we've got your wombo combo here, 182. From the engulfing candle, which is very, very strong. We would expect this candle to support price anyways, right? From this area, ideally taking us up, maybe even above this. Beyond that, this is a structural zone on the daily time frame. So we would expect something to follow through from here anyway, right? And yes, you can argue, well, come on. Right, so now this area should respect, which is also in the middle of this. This is your wombo combo. Your SNDR, well, your SNDR actually is here. So you likely had something fractally in here from this retracement. Right, if we draw it from like this, well, that makes sense. Didn't go up. That's your first warning sign. The pocket respecting and it didn't trade higher. Right? And then you've got this, which is essentially what we're in right now. Right? None of which means just buy and whatever. Right? Here's your 5. We are now respecting this. Did we get a flip on our 1 minute time frame yet? No. No, we haven't. Do we have any major signs on the 5 yet? No. We would need a 5 minute flip, which then trades up to a 50-minute area of interest. So these movements, this to me is, it very well could be violent, and you end up getting your flip. This is the area we want to be long in. We've now ran everybody out. Beautiful. You've got a new hourly starting now. Nothing swept, nothing swept. So we'll monitor this retracement and see what it looks like. Get back to our charts. No trades yet for me so far. This is the location I'm interested in. I'm not really wild about how it's delivering. You could argue this was if you guys follow ICT knowledge, this is a flip for you. That's not really what I'm looking for, even though this is giving a bit of a movement up inside of a pocket, which I like. We are so overly extended, nowhere to go but up. Well, people thought the same thing here when we swept and took Asia highs and then Asia lows, etc. People also thought the same sort of thing during lunch hour yesterday. When the daily starts running like that, and you get daily candles that look like this, this is violently moving to an area, and it very well could go on a rocket ship from here. It very well could go on a rocket ship from here. Right? But the market can stay irrationally bearish. And this has dropped, what? 838 to 146. So 700 points in 2 days. Boom. So trying to catch bottoms in these markets, that's a death sentence. And you'll find that a lot of the better traders don't actually want to be a part of this just yet. Our higher time frames pulling back, we know that, but getting involved short is a little bit challenging. Maybe you took the bear flag snap at 943 and that would have been a beautiful short idea. Other than that, not really liking how this is setting up for long, so I'm not involved. And we'll see what goes on. Yeah, and I mean, like, if we get rid of all of this, or if we at least look at different chart. And you're looking, I don't know, say we put VWAP. You put VWAP on there, and, well, you got... I mean, it's holding this VWAP band, so I wouldn't really look at that very, very nicely. Get rid of some of this nonsense. And, I don't know, let's look at Bollinger. Bollinger Bands, right? Same sort of thing. Okay. Now, again, we traded to this side of it. We expect to trade to this side. We're now extending ourselves to your point. Very, very overextended. And this is the CSD area on the daily on ES as well. Danger, danger, danger. Very well could be trading into this. Slap a VWAP on that thing. Yeah, and I mean that's you know, why is it so difficult to become successful at trading? Why is it so difficult? It's because we get rewarded usually. This is I'm speaking at a traders conference on the 28th of August. My God. April. Where am I right now? I'm speaking at a traders summit at the 20th of August, and one of the things I'm going to talk about is one of the major pitfalls that we get into in our early trading days. And the reason we're talking about a lot about psychology is because I am not getting involved in this. I can't short here. Sure, it's dropped about 100 points in the last 5 minutes. But I'm not really willing to YOLO and see what goes on there. So I wait. Wait for something to set up a little bit properly. I didn't like how this was rallying, so I didn't want to go long. And sure enough, that 5-minute failure just sending us lower. And your 15 showing that. So, our brilliant minds search for meaning in pretty much all areas of life, especially because we know, especially those of you guys that have been around me for a while, know that we do things for 2 reasons only. We either gain pleasure from it, or we're avoiding pain from it. Period. And everything kind of falls in that. Today's August 20th. Is it August 20th? Yeah, I got that little... I actually used TradingView to tell me what day it is. So what usually happens and raise your hand if this happened to you. Let's say you're early in your trading career and you're long and you catch the bottom. Let's say that your execution's phenomenal, you're ready for this to rally. Or let's say that you're short. I don't know, you're short, no, let's say you're long. Let's say you're long. Let's say you're long here and it's beautiful. This is your first day of trading. You're long here. And you're in at 174. You're happy this thing's flying. It's up 30 points. It's up 40 points now. Your first day of trading, you feel like a legend. Right? This thing, and then what happens? What happens? Our mind starts going, well, we start justifying all the reasons we should hold for greed, don't we? And what goes on? We hold. And for a while, that seems like a beautiful idea. You're up 40 points now. Almost 50 points. Now you're looking at this. Now you're looking at this. Now you're looking at trading all the way back up to here. This is going to be the best trade of your life. And then you see a bear bar, and now you have to make a difficult decision, and you decide to hold. Your first day of trading, mind you. And then it drops. And not only does it drop to where you entered, you're now break even after being 40 points, but your ego can't handle that. So now it continues on. And instead of taking your stop, your initial stop, you let it go because you're afraid of being wrong now. And then what happens? It actually continues on. Maybe you add, and now you're really underwater. And there goes your account. So what happens? Our minds go, well, that was extremely painful. And I don't want to feel that way again. So I'm going to attach a meaning to it. Some sort of thing to realize so that this doesn't happen again in the future. And then your mind goes, well, obviously the lesson is to take profits early. Take 20 points. To not let a green trade go back to break even. And now all of a sudden you're forming destructive habits because you're not allowing that trade 3 weeks from now, which is the exact same setup in a bullish environment. You're now long here and you take it off here instead. You take 10, 15, 20 points. You become a scalper because you're framing every single trade after that with the same meaning that this one gave you from your first day of trading. And then you're wondering why you can't consistently make money in the market. Right? The good news is that can change like this. The bad news is that we don't really realize that until it's too late. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And let me preface that by saying that there are very, 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 very good scalping models that work extremely well. Usually you're scalping with the trend. Usually you're scalping with the trend. Because how easy is it, even if you're a degenerate, realize that this is a higher time frame movement. You sell here, you make money. You sell here, you make money. You sell here, you lose money, right? Okay, maybe you sell here, you lose money again. And then you sell here, you make money. 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 So on and so forth. I usually go objective to objective. I usually trade objective to objective. So for example, for me here, this wasn't a flip I wanted to entertain, but that flip should have traded to a 5-minute area of interest. We actually took the 5-minute high, right? But we couldn't validate a 5-minute low to trade up higher. So this to me was a no trade. But I'd be looking for something valid in here, a change in order flow, a flip, and then would be looking to ride that long. Or I'm looking for some sort of lethargic retracement and then delivery to flip back bearish to align with our higher time frame. And then I'd be looking to take it to the lows. If I had a 50K funded account, I take 1 micro. Now I don't take 1 micro in high volatile, mini, but I don't take that in higher, really, really high volatile environments where your bars are over 30 points. Right? I would take probably 5 micros. And I'd be looking for 5 and 15 minute sweeps to align with the current trend. That's it. There's been a couple of challenges that we've done to get payouts, and basically all we're doing is we're looking at whereabouts the current trend is, whereabouts the liquidity is, and are we finished our objective lower or not, or higher depending on the trend. This is just nasty. We've got this low now at 45. It looks like we might actually want to take it, but still no trades for me here. There's nothing for us to be doing. ES, move that up there. You guys got my giant head in the way. Really good day to practice patience. When price is skipping around like this, I failed 2,500 accounts. I never pass. I just passed one, but after my payout was rejected. Trading is a lot. I mean, let's say that you learn a very particular strategy, and the strategy can be something as simple as an EMA line, right? So you're looking at, I don't know, a couple of EMA lines, and say the shorter EMA line is doing this, and the higher time frame EMA line is doing this. Well, that's very, very clearly a bearish trend. So you're looking to sell bounces off the EMA line, and away you go, right? Very, very basic and simple strategy. My point is that all strategies work, but the ability to get payouts isn't really a function of your strategy. It's a function of staying out of trouble. It's a function of staying out of trouble. In other words, say everything in you wants to go long because you're seeing how overextended this is, but there's no setup to go long. Right? This is drop sideways, drop sideways. There's no rally in sight. That's when you stay out of trouble with your long bias. That doesn't mean hitting it short. Funded traders know that they don't have to make money that day. They need to follow their risk. They need to follow their system. So trying to force trades and then having a huge red day, that's where the real danger comes in. Right? Even this, violent movement, firefly on the bullish side, hasn't achieved anything. Still looking for these 45s. Do I buy these accounts for giveaway, or do you have some contract with ETF? This is the generosity of ETF that gives us these accounts. How can I work on risk management or emotions? Well, risk management is only something that you can really work on during markets. If you're able to associate with back testing, then you can work on it through there. But risk management, you can't really like consciously be like, okay, I'm going to follow my rules today. I'm going to follow my rules today. I'm going to follow my rules today. No. Your mind goes, well, what about yesterday, you fool? You didn't really do it then. Why are you going to do it today? Right? Everybody looking for that daily low. Like clockwork, running out all the early shorts. Right, here's your 5. Beautiful. If we could take this high in the next 8 seconds, great. But in terms of emotions, I think traders need to have some sort of a strategy for their state. Your state and your beliefs before you even pick up trading as a career by itself is huge. And then depending on whereabouts your beliefs take you inside of trading, you'll find you'll hit a wall. Some of you guys won't run into any sort of problems until you really start getting successful at it. Others will have very, very strong difficulties just getting successful in the first place from your beliefs. Which sounds like a cop-out, but it's true. Right? And if you don't believe me, go look at all the people that are blowing right before payout. This is violent. This is very violent. Right? You got your 15, beautiful. Still no actionable signals for me yet. I liked how this was moving. And I think that's a valid trade idea, but nothing so far. Right? Maybe there was, I don't know. Those of you guys that love your inversions, is there a 2 or a 3? Not really. Still no flip on, well, there's a flip on the 1, right? So your 5 still is not given. Like in order for us to flip on the 5, we'd actually need to trade all the way up to 215. Strong possibility that we get a reaction from this. This trades us back down. Then maybe we get some sort of lethargic movement back up into here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But strengthening your emotions and the neural connections under stress is only something that you can really, well, you can do that at night if you're good at associating with that state. I rehearse everything the night before of what I want to see. I made my daily goal yesterday on my funded account. I trade my Ovation today, and it's green. Nice work, Frank. Nice, nice, nice. When you size down, let's say you trade with 1 mini, you scale down to 3 to 5 micros, the emotions will be in check. Yes and no. How many people have a challenge being wrong in the market? And consciously we might be like, well, no, that's not me. But if you have a problem taking stops when they come, you have a problem being wrong in the market. So will size change that? Yes or no? This is going to continue onwards. That's right, it won't. Even if you trade down to 1 micro and you think sizing will fix your issue is not with your position sizing. Yes, absolutely. If you're trading with four minis and you're trying to make $500 a day, you're probably going to have a difficult time. Right? Because now you're adding different emotions of greed, desperation, everything else on it. Right? But like, this has already disrespected the midpoint of this so far. I think people are still shorting this, but we'll see. Once that wrong feeling hits, you forget what the size even was. That's correct. That's exactly it. So we talked a little bit earlier about the meaning behind this. We also form different patterns based off of what we bring to the trading desk. Say we're short here and it's going against us. Right? We can't be wrong, so XYZ happens and all of a sudden away you go. Maybe, and this is usually something, so when I work with traders that are like, you know what? I keep blowing accounts and I don't know why. Or I can't follow my rules or whatever. Usually they will reference some sort of like trade here where, let's say they shorted and they were wrong and it continued up, and then they took like a 30-point loss or something like that, much higher than they intended, say above this high, and then it ends up dying and they miss it. What do you think they're going to remember? Do you think they're going to remember this? Or do you think they're going to remember that they were right and they missed the move? Fun fact, neither of those matter. But that's what our mind searches for. We look at the outcome that happened both here and the movement that ends up going on. But the trigger happened here. The trigger happened there. Or the trigger happened here. When they missed all this, and then this continued, and you can usually feel that right in your body. So pay attention to those triggers. It will be different for each and one of you, but they happen. And when those triggers hit, pay attention to the mind and the states that follow. Ego state work is huge. Something my beautiful wife talks about with me a lot. You don't want the foosball player at the desk. You don't want the loving father or mother or whatever at the desk. That ego state's very powerful. An ego state's your neural connection. It's the one you build on. And ideally, if you're studying charts 2 hours a day, whatever it is, you're building that neural connection. So what ends up happening is you want the person at the desk who's been studying the market. You don't want the bus driver. What tangible does that have? You don't want the basketball player. You don't want the whatever. How the hell are they going to help you trade the market? Doesn't make sense, right? So get the right person for the job. Woo! Look at this go. Oh yeah, we going deep today. Woo, we going deep. This still didn't trade up to where I wanted it to. I still would be surprised if we didn't take this 45.75. And again, we were looking for lower because had we had some accumulation here and then we ran it out and flipped on the 5, now we can look for a higher move. Now we can look for a higher move. Otherwise, our 5 is just sweeping here. Our expectation is maybe we sell up here. Right? And there might be a lot of traders that ended up hitting this and they're just, you know what, short pretty much anywhere. Cool. Not for me. Yeah, I think like barely tapped into the wombo. But I wanted at least like up into this. Didn't get it. Guarantee you. And by the way, if you did short here and you made money, awesome. Obsessed. Right? What you want to avoid is shorting here and claiming you're a legend because you made 10 or 15 points. Don't do that shit. Still nothing yet for me. What do we got? There's your 2. Inverting back down. Oh dear. There's your 3. Yet another inversion. Those of you guys that love this stuff. There you are. Still didn't trade back into it. Get out of here. What, 111? There you are. Maybe it'll come back and tap back in there. That'd be beautiful for you guys. I'm still looking to see if we get something out of this. But I think that we would have a lot of work to do. But again, this is 10:30. This is 10:30. There's your 5. Your 15-minute low still. This one at 90. So even if this does respect 11, I'm not going to take this unless we get a very, very, very violent movement out of it. Morning, Donna. Morning, Icaro. I think there was a lot of guys or girls, apologies, that that said hi and maybe I missed you guys. FX Edge, I think. What's going on, buddy? Vibov. Elias. I'm butchering names. I apologize. Sorab. The Sun. Anybody I'm missing? Naisha. Oh, It With Peas here. How you doing, buddy? I missed that. No, I'm not speaking today. That's the 28th. 28th. It's free, but trying to pass on as much knowledge as I can. Mainly because we think that the vast majority of trading psychology out there is nonsense. Stuff that you guys get out of a fortune cookie. And I think different things have their place, right? But I mean, if you want to get over your phobia of snakes, would you rather it take 7 years of psychiatry bills, or would you rather be done in 20 minutes? And more effective, by the way. More effective. Bum, bum, bum. Morning, Jace. Still nothing. Still nothing. Not really looking at fighting this. Not really looking at fighting this. You very well could get an SNDR. I could be overthinking this 15-minute low. Can I do an impression of Conor McGregor? My wife is Irish. My sister-in-law actually goes to his pub and hangs out with him a lot, apparently. But my wife hates my Irish accent, so so I have to respectfully pass on that, as I like to keep my marriage. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Tree Turkey, yes, that's right. Fun fact, people from Ireland, Irish lads, actually ask me what part of Ireland I'm from. So apparently I've been corrupted quite a bit. This is having a hell of a time with 8950. The thing about the Irish lads is you got to speak really fast. If nobody can understand you, then you don't really know whereabouts you're going from. '98s. Don't really know. I don't really know. This is having a ton of sell pressure, but it's achieving nothing so far. I'm not long for sure, right? I'm still waiting to see if this ends up running everybody out and creating this SNDR, which then runs. But I think this is going to be explosive if it does drop lower. That's not fair. Oh dear, speak and she shall appear. Sorry. That's the Canadian in me coming back, apologizing for everything. Still nothing. Still nothing. I think, what was that? 925, 925, 925. You got a triple top here, lads. Triple top. What the hell? So if we continue lower, we take this. That will be a major target if we get a flip. So say we just get something nasty and we do whatever, and then there's some sort of inversion here and it gets respected. Then we fly up. I think this is a major idea. But we'll see if they run it first. See if they run it first. $38. Can they do it? Not yet. Not yet. Oh. Making short sweat. I actually do like that that idea on the 3. I actually do like that idea. Right. The issue again is this 15-minute, and we're doing all kinds of fun stuff. Not really a flip, right? I think that we would have to close above this candle at 32. Right? If you're selling anywhere in here and just expecting, or you got a decent stop, maybe like above here or something, then you're probably fine. Ball. Still nothing from me, lads. Still nothing. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Should we do 11 o'clock? We run it up? 11 a.m. marbles? Or what? God, if she doesn't go now. If she doesn't go now, that's going to be nasty business. Watching, waiting, watching, waiting, watching, waiting, watching. I think it's a lot of fun. I think marbles is a lot of fun. Do you guys prefer the races or the battle royale? There goes your low a day. Do we get 45s? Woo. Races, races. Oh, we got a battle royale. All right. All right. Yikes. Moment of truth. Races, races, races. I think you're out of luck here, Yosin. I think you're out of luck, mon ami. Hope I win an account. Yup. Me too, actually. I'm just kidding. I'm fully aware that my marbles are cursed. Bum 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 bum. Taking the lows. 2 minutes before a new 15-minute candle. What's our 15 looking like? Gross. We'll be shocked if it ended up bullish at 96. But we'll see. More importantly, are we staying out of trouble today, lads? Or do we get caught up in the music? Barely green, okay. Part of this is memory too. When the higher time frame gets going, and we define getting going as in we drop and then what's the reaction? These days have a personality. So what usually ends up happening is you get your violent movement, say some sort of retracement, violent movement, whatever goes on here at the lows, say it's a choppy range, people blow accounts, all kinds of fun stuff. You usually will have a low that's formed between 10:30 and 11:30, let's say. And usually that low ends up getting ran. Noon does this, you get a flip or something like that in an area of interest. And then that ends up running this low and continues. So these kind of have personalities where you're either waiting for this long, if you can grab it, or you're waiting for a continuation short in the afternoon. So basically, what you're saying to yourself is, unless I get something massive, and by massive I mean like you're getting like a 15-minute, like a 5-minute accumulation manipulation gone, right, where you get 5-minute drop, base, you get a bullish 5-minute candle to create a CSD flip here, and then this movement's going to be violent, and you're taking either the longs in this leg that look like this, you're long here, and you're taking it to the highs. And that's pretty much all you're looking for. You're not trying to catch the bottom, and that's where a lot of people mess up, is they're trying to pick the bottom here, or they're trying to pick the bottom here, which very well could end up happening, who knows? Or you're trying to pick the bottom here. Maybe that's a decent rally spot. If you took that long, you want to be long on that side of the curve. But you're still expecting it to be a retracement because we didn't get the aforementioned 5-minute stuff to go on. Right? Green, 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 beautiful. Patient as a rock, love it. No trades, boss walked in the office. The way you've been trading, man, you're going to be able to buy the company soon, my friend. So basically, we're short until proven dramatically otherwise. There it goes, finally. Now what? Profit taking? Maybe. This is a new 15-minute candle, so we very well could be at the bottom. We very well could be at the bottom here. Depending on how this looks, how this goes. Right, and I use that because we had a 5-minute low. We've now swept. We very well could be sweeping out everything and then rocketing up. So we'll monitor what goes on here. I think that was a major area of interest for people that are taking their shorts off. Sounds a little weird. Their short positions off. And you're seeing the violent profit taking that's occurred now. This is where we do not step in front of it short. if this candle closes bullish in 2 minutes, you have a very credible reversal that is going to be quite violent. That's an if. That's a big if. This will be a very important response. We couldn't validate this low just yet. Have I heard of traders not liking to enter in the last 15 minutes of the hourly? Yeah, absolutely. Right? Again, for me, I'm looking for, if this candle ended up closing bullish and we've taken both sides, now I like that a lot. Right? You got 20 seconds to do so. I don't think it's going to, but we'll see. $10.50. Again, this would have been nice. Now, so do I subscribe to that? Yeah, actually I do. So we talked about the 5-minute flip, the 5-minute CSD. If you get accumulation, when do you expect this to manipulate? Do you expect it to manipulate on the 1-minute time frame? If we've been consolidating for 5-10 minutes? Or do you think it's going to be a 5 or a 15-minute flip? Or run out? Probably a 5 or a 15, right? Same thing on the hourly time frame. So you got an hourly candle here. If we're going to sweep and fail, and we close, say, here at 50, what are the chances that the hourly sweeps and then goes? So this might be beautiful on the 5 and the 15. And then there's very specific patterns that'll allow it to move. But, right? So like if this had closed bullish and you had a major 5-minute move, then you might theorize that this hourly is not going to get swept. But other than that, you would expect this hourly to close, then the hourly manipulates, and you've got a 15-minute and an hourly low that gets taken, and then a rally can happen. And what ends up going on is that all this is just accumulation. Then we run out everybody, and then we go. Does that make sense? What time giveaway? 39 watching now. 39 watching now. Essentially, we use the 1 minute to try and determine what these time frames are doing. Should we do a giveaway? I still haven't taken anything. Multiple scalps for short that probably would have paid quite lovely. Right? Didn't really like this tap back in because this didn't, or it already took the low, so I wasn't really that interested. I did think 45 was a key area. I also thought this was a key area, but we didn't really deliver from there. So I was kind of looking for long or at least a retracement short. This I wanted higher. So really, all of this today has not been delivering the way that I wanted it to, and it didn't fit my criteria. If this would have traded into that 3 minute to then unload for this movement, I would have been a part of it. But no bueno. Trade safe, Jack. Be safe. So still nothing. It is a big event. So for those of you guys that don't know, the Jackson Hole is the economic policy that happens once a year. It's where they discuss inflation and their strategy for the economy. Quite a big event. And depending on what you believe, they've either pulled the liquidity to get in long lower, or they feel something negative's coming out and they're selling. I personally don't really believe that they're selling, because I don't believe that the powers that be that move the market chase. It's a Trader's Corner Summit. Trader's Corner Summit. I think it's 20 or 30,000 or something that they have an audience for. I spoke with them, or I spoke at one of their summits before, and it was fun. A lot of people there only try and sell their products. They're not really there to really educate or serve. But I can completely understand it. Those of you guys that are on the school community, 5 minutes. A little bit of a violent movement now. Still a little cautious, depending on where this 15 closes. Right? This is a daily area, so we very well could have had inducement and then everybody get ran out, depending on what goes on here. This could be a 1 minute flip. But 4 minutes left in the hourly. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There is definitely a lot of that. It was, yeah. Do you guys want like weekly Q&A calls and all that sort of stuff? Like if we did that like through school? Would you guys listen to all that sort of stuff? If you guys like had like a platform to ask a bunch of chart specific questions and or psychology questions or whatever? None. 30 seconds, maybe a flip. This is your internal structural area of interest here. Now we've already mitigated that, so I would kind of expect it to blast depending. Just not a lot that I really like. Right, ES is not playing nice. Neither is NQ. So we'll see. Very well could be a structural break, and if we get like some sort of failure here that could run, my concern is that it's 1057. So we'll see. We very well could sweep this out again. And this is why I usually wait for closures above the CSD area rather than wicks, even though that's technically a structure shift. Ooh. Is she ready? Dealing with that high again. If you got 1 minute left, lads. I think this is setting up for a rocket ship. If. 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Ooh, liquidity. Goodbye. Or at least should be goodbye. Goodbye. Boom. Ideally, you're looking for quite a bit higher. Ideally, you're looking for quite a bit higher, right? But you want this to validate the 5. So this 1 minute flip, as we got the flip there, then we trade back into the order block and then we leave. Right? You want it to confirm the 5. If it confirms this 5 minute high, is that the one? No. Yeah, it is actually. Sorry. If it confirms this 5 minute high, which you won't really know for 4 more minutes, so caution. But this is obviously setting up quite nicely. If it confirms that, then where do we head to? You've actually got a 15 minute, which is all the way up here at 89s. Yes, that will be the 15 minute valid high. Woo! Which would be beautiful. So we monitor how this works here. That's obviously quite violent. So you've got the midpoint of this candle. You want to see that respected, in my opinion. I've seen the longs a mile away. I love that. Here comes the respect. Oh dear me. If you are long, strap yourself in, but you do want to see, I would not want to see something like this at the 5 minute high. This very well could just sweep and fail. We're in a very, very volatile environment. So if you are long, my recommendation would be de-risk. And then if this ends up being a violent higher time frame movement, then you're good. Right? This is a structural high right here, which we've now just tapped into the midpoint. So you would expect this to trade back down. And that aligns with the 5 minute high. And we'll see where this goes. Right? But again, what did we talk about here. We run the lows, we flip. Where's our target? If this 5-minute confirms a valid low, right? Still kind of choppy, but I think we take this 89 high. What I like is this triple top all the way up here. We just got to figure out how we're going to do it. Right? So if you're a patient, this was a long. If you're very aggressive, I didn't like how far this was going to go. Or sorry, it was actually in here. My mistake. This was a decent long, at least back up into this. It didn't quite hit our targets, our stretch targets. But that made sense to me. This candle here, this movement down never flipped until, well, even this candle wasn't really it. Right? It closed above that, which I liked. And it was mainly this signature. Right? So there wasn't really anything. No longs here, no longs there. And then finally we get our flip that occurs. 41 people. Good. Good, good, good. Like the stream, and let's save the chat. Those of you guys that are lurking, type something in here so I get you guys into this marble race before we ping everybody in the ETF Discord. And we'll do a poll as well. All right. Poll coming in hot. Poll coming in hot. Who's in this long, by the way? Who's in this long? Where's that part of the stream where we were talking about this? How far away was that? Like a half an hour ago? Jesus. Yeah, where was that? Where was that shit? Whatever. We'll see what we'll get a who could have predicted this later on. Right? But like already jumped out. That's all right. That's all right. At least you took it. At least you took it. The key again is you've got an objective higher, right? This is a structural area of interest. As was this. We've broken structure on the 1 minute time frame. So we're now in the midpoint, which aligns with 109.25. There you go. Boom. Let's get a who could have predicted this in chat. No? No? Do we at least understand? Everybody clear on what exactly we're looking for? Nasty business, but look at that 15-minute. Boom, boom, boom. Jesus, 81% want DTF accounts. Whoo. Woo. All right. 45.50. 10 points of drawdown. I apologize. 10 points of drawdown. Sorry, lads. Sorry. Must do better. Must do better. Oh. I don't know about you guys, but it feels good to be a gangster sometimes. Let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute. And you're following your lows. If you're in and you're like, this thing's going to the moon, pack your bags. And you're long, you got your tap back in. Beautiful stuff. Stop, 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 stop. Well, not yet. Right? This is still a little bit nasty. Your stop's probably here. But I mean, this is your target as well inside of this. You very well could expect something along the lines of this, and then continuation potentially. We're really looking for something up here, and then maybe even a little bit beyond. The concern with noon curve, by the way. Is that we've achieved a major target on the daily time frame. So if we get rid of all these doodles, there's your daily low of your bullish engulfing candle inside of a structural area of interest. Like, whoo, whoo. And you got Jackson Hole coming out. You got Jackson Hole coming out. Keep the doodles on. Yes, Jabbar, absolutely. You were absolutely waiting for it and getting ready for it. The key is that if you're inside, and this is a major thing, those of you guys are struggling, bearish, 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 right? Bullish, 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 bullish. Many people will get involved here, or they'll get involved here, or they'll get involved here, and they'll get stopped out if their stops are too tight. This can very well sweep this out and then continue on. Who knows? There's different ways to determine that. But think of this as a curve. Right? You got a bearish part of the curve, you got a bullish part of the curve. There's your point. You want to be long on this part of the curve. Very, very, very simple. Pardon? How much did you make on that, Nisnos? I shouldn't be laughing, but man, 1730, 6 minis. That's like what, 15 points of that? 15 points, 60. Well, I mean, if you noticed, hopefully it doesn't throw consistency out the window. This will be a chart study trade. I'll put this in school as well. If you guys aren't in our school community, you're missing out on literally thousands of free stuff. Like, it's absolutely shocking to me that people aren't going to be in here. Les posts stuff every day, and she's worth like $400 or $500 an hour. Like, nah, I'm good. My psychology's good, man. I read a couple of memes this week. I'm good. Yeah, pretty much, right? So your stops, eventually you'll get taken out for this parabolic. Now, I mean, if you're long and you've made 50 or 60 points on that, fine. But you've taken a daily and you've gotten a very violent movement after a huge accumulation. So this, just to clear this last bit out before I save the chat and we get going with the first marble. You see this, that's when you start getting excited. I've seen this before. I've seen this shit before. But this is not where we enter. Why? That's where they're entering. That's where they're entering. Who's they? Those are the guys that can scale in here at 70, 75 and have a 200 point, 300 point, 500 point stop, and they'll add to shit on the way down. They don't care. Our monthly income isn't even their stop loss. Right? We don't enter there. We wait for retail to get ran out. Then we go. Then we go. Dennis, what's going on, my friend? Poor Dennis has been trying to have a conversation with me, and I have been MIA this entire week. I do apologize for that. I owe you big time. Chat is saved. Chat is saved. Chat is saved. What am I looking for? Chat GPT. Come for the marbles, stay for the sauce. Yes or no? Bum, 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 bum. Naisha, N1, what's up? Yo, 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 yo. Look at this. Picks up 60 points and trailing. Love the invalidations. Beautiful. There's one. Stops now below here. That's a flat bottom. I think that this is a major area for sure. That high. 100 points. We eating today. We eating today. Who else grabbed it long? I know a few of you guys did. But man, how simple does it seem too? Like, oh, it's just mark out a daily low, wait for a flip, and then away we go. Well, I mean, yeah. Trading is very, very, very simple. But is it easy? It can be. Can be. We tend to complicate things when our beliefs come into play. People will go long here. They'll take losses. They'll short here, get clapped. One more for the 15. Boom. Let's get it for picks. 157 for picks. 157 for picks. 2 seconds. 1 second. Come on, Kendall. To the moon. You're going to be a prick, aren't you? She's going to pull back and then she's going to go. Pull back just close enough. Now, it's worth noting that this area was already mitigated, so we would expect the high. If this area is not mitigated, like say like something like this, where this just leaves, then you expect this to give you a reaction, which it did. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. 155. 156.25, of course. Boom! Fire in the chat for Pixelated, lads, and everybody else that held this. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Your trading will change. Your trading will change the second you realize that your ability to stay in the correct state and you clear your old negative beliefs about what's possible, you will find that your growth is explosive. And it can change just like this. Just like that. When you start valuing your psychology over your strategy. And if you believe change is hard, and some of you guys might say, well, it's not really that hard, you know. Consciously, I know that I can change, but then sticking to change is something else entirely. Who here? Oh yeah, we're going on with the psychology talk. We're going on with the psychology talk. Up 130 points and counting from the daily low we marked out. Who here has had a particular brand of alcohol that you loved when you were younger? It was your jam. It was your Friday night. It was your everything. Who here's had that? Whether it's tequila, for me it was Jägermeister. Who's had something like that? That you had a lot? Until one evening where you consumed just a little bit too much, or way more than too much. And it came out of everywhere in your body. Absolutely everywhere. And just the smell of it now makes you nauseous. How fast did that association change in your mind? How fast? People experience this with food. People experience this with alcohol, where all of a sudden one day you neuroassociative conditioned yourself out of it. How fast? And you said, no more, not another minute, never having that again, period. That's how change works. That's how change works. But can you change somebody that doesn't want to change? Yes or no? While I load up our marbles. You can, actually. Of course you can. The answer is yes. But what do you need? You need the right leverage. Usually people will do, people will do 1,000,000 times more for their dogs than they will for themselves. What is this going on with this marble? Somebody points a gun at your head and says you better stop smoking, period, or points a gun at somebody's head that you love, how likely are you going to change? Now, obviously, this is a very extreme example. But perceived pain is often more powerful than actual pain. That's where fear comes in. So what we do is we take what gives you pleasure, what gives you pain, and you go, well, I don't really want this to give me pleasure, and I don't want that to give me pain. I don't want holding to my target to give me pain. I want it to give me pleasure. I also don't want impatience to give me pleasure. I want that to give me pain. Switch. And away you go. How fast? Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Look at this, look at that. All right. All right, all right, all right. Who's ready for some marbles? Who's ready for some marbles? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. 88 points, let's go. Making our bag and making some marbles. Good times all around. All around. Move my face out of the way, shall we? Shall we, shall we? All right. All right. What do we got? 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 Very beautiful. Let's get stream elements out of this. Let's get that out of it. Where are stream elements? There you go. All right. All right, all right, all right. Everybody should be in here that was in here earlier. And we're going to run it up with our long shot because it's a blast. What do we say? We said 61. You can change those that want to change. Yes, you can. If you have the right leverage and you know what you're doing. Here we go, lads. Here we go, here we go, here we go. 50K, DTF. Whoop! We'll ping everybody after this. Thank you guys for showing up this morning. Thank yourselves if you caught some bangers. Hopefully you're all green and good luck. Like the damn stream. Our experience in our practice. You ask my wife, you can absolutely get somebody to change. Kicking and screaming sometimes, but it happens. Jace Sunday. This is one of those fun maps where being first isn't really... How are people dying? Solo and Forex. Oh, right, it's that ball, isn't it? People getting clapped by the huge ball. Oh, there it goes. All right. All right, all right, all right. What do we got? We got good morning here. We got Abraham. There's Alejandra. Frank. Am I even in this? I don't think I'm... Oh, yeah, I am. I'm Luminary. I think I'm Luminary. Where am I? Pixels. Tigo. Attaboy. Father of Legends. The newcomer. Good luck, my friend. Where am I? You guys better get going. That thing's menacing. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, my shield. Oh, those are some good launches. All right. Dillip currently in the lead. Lucas came in there. All right. Jobs. Oh, just short. It's Lucas still. XD. Oh, Almond Chori. That's a big one. That's a huge one. What? Is that a new record? That might be a record. That might be a record. I think it is. Oh, Matt. That was a good jump, Matt. Nice work. I don't even know where I am. There's Les. Oh, Yassine's still hanging out here waiting everybody to stop. I guess I died. There we go. Nice. Bless me. How do we get into the marbles race? You should be in there. You're right there. You're 21st. 21st. Pretty hard for me to win it if I'm not even in there. Okay, let's get a ping going. Les, are you here? What should I call her? Do you want to ping everybody? We'll give it a minute for chat. We'll give it a minute for chat. Ooh, and we'll pick the next. We'll pick the next one. Alienated could be fun. Where's my notes? Where's my notes? Message me on school, by the way. Almachori. Adil. Bum, 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 bum. Man, these trades get you fired up, eh? One good trade a day. One good trade a day. Oh yeah, big time. Big time. Look at this. 229. $229, lads. 200-point trade. Whoop. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. What do you guys think? Was the best part of the trade the entry? Was it our targets? Was it whereabouts the low was going to come in at? You know? Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel too. Like, my God. We'll give it a couple of minutes. The entry is definitely the fun part, isn't it? The entry is the fun part. Grand total of about, I think I had 3 points of drawdown when I got in. But that was sort of, I think it was Man Bear that was talking about it. When you get in before the hour, the new hour candle that comes out. We'll go over it with a case study later on. You type in chat, you just got in, my friend. You just got in. I gotta make my mug a little bit smaller for this. Death Alley is cool. That's one of our favorites. That's one of our favorites. We'll give it another minute for chat, and then I'll save it again. What do we think? Alienated with our little spaceships, UFO? Who feels like getting probed today, lads? Or should we do Death Alley? $250.25. $250.25. In fact, we could look, like if I was a gambling man and I had to take an options position, London highs do look pretty tasty, and I think that's extremely aggressive. Up at 440, so 450. That's pretty aggressive. But man, high percentage chance. High percentage chance. How do you win? You win. You win the race. Okay. 10, 9. Type in the chat to get entered. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 12 likes? Is that it? Oh man, we're not going to be doing it if there's only that. No. I got to check this out. No, there's 46. It's 46. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Saving the chat now. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Actually, I'm waiting because it hasn't pulsed. Bum 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 bum. Wow, we made our bag this morning. That's for sure. Come on. Plug in. Let's go. There we go. Okay. And good old ChatGPT, do it again for this spreadsheet. Who's feeling lucky? Called into existence. Let's go. All right. Bull catching low of day 4 days. You guys should all be in this. Street elements. Botman, the winner from last week. Good lad. There's Trey Beautiful, the minded ninja. Father of Legends, Trade Cured Futures. Get rid of me. You guys should all be in this. You guys should all be in this. True Magic. Good lad. Okay. And media, sorry. Alright. And 88. Man, you guys are late. But I'm in a good mood because we caught it the low of day and we're all legends. Hack the Planet. 89. Oh my god. They're coming out of the woodwork. Last one. Gaines Karthik. E. 90. 90, 90, 90. Good luck. Good luck. Ooh. Who's feeling lucky? Who's feeling lucky? Those of you guys that are here late, man, this is the last one. You guys got to get here earlier. I don't know who you guys are watching. Doubt anybody else caught the low of day. Oh, who's gonna get probed? Nobody yet. You guys got to get here earlier. Esvin Martz, Media Sorry, Jack of all trades. Boom, 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 boom. Dennis got probed. Poor Dennis. Oh, Jace. Thank you for your sacrifice to the alien gods. Sorry, bro. Enjoy. Enjoy. Oh, they're after somebody else. Man Bear. Avoid it, Man Bear. Good lad. Good lad. Do we got one more? It's the sun. Oh, it's waiting. It's waiting for Joey. Or not. Okay. Oh, it's right at the end now. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Is it the sun? Is that pixelated in first? Abraham or the sun? I think he's got it. Overshot. Heartbreak. 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 Hey, I think it was Icaro. Icaro at the end. Oh, Les was fourth. Good lad. Good girl. Woo. Good lad. Habit. Bull catching low. 8th. Working my way up. Icaro Fly, you here, my bro? Give him a minute. Give him a minute. Hopefully he's here. Maybe. Whoa, lots of deaths. Lots of deaths. We'll see. Yeah, where'd they go? Icaro Fly, where are you? Icaro, whatever. I know they were here earlier because they typed. Feel like we got to run this back. Oh, no, they're here. All right. They're here. Lucky. Sorry, lads. No running back today. No running back today. All right. Yeah. So, those of you guys that won, those of you guys that actually want to improve your psychology a hell of a lot more and find explosive growth, join this school community. Man, join the community. For God's sake. Fix yourself. All right. Those of you guys that won, the two of you guys that won today, message me on there. And congrats to those that caught the low of day with us. We'll chat with you guys later. Bye.